Hey guys, Kid here of Burn1 with a new video. We're going to go over some of the announcements that just recently happened shortly after Anime Expo, and then today they just announced another new set coming out, which has been, I know, on the back burner for a while, and I know a lot of people will be pretty excited to get into the set. So first we'll go with the announcement today. They are now bringing the third set of Contact Collection, the European fleet, over. They already have an Excel's date. It's November 9th. With the new European fleet added to the roster that Contact already has, and the fact that there is no ban list in English, I'm pretty sure Contact Collection is going to jump back up to a pretty decent tier of power. I think it can rival a lot of top tier decks, mostly because the new level 1 combo that the set brings, if you've familiar at all with the Japanese version of the set, is a stock soul combo with the level 1 prince that becomes pretty big, so you can wall out your opponent, and it does not require you to reverse anything to get the plus. It's just the pay 1+1. So even though this does hurt your stock economy, there are other cards that you do end up running with it that kind of negates the drawback of having to pay 1 to +1, as well as the Prince itself. The level 1 combo becomes 106,500 power, and the set has a lot of good counters that work well with supports coming out in this new set as well, that whenever you use a startup you can give power somewhere, so you can wall out people at level 1, which has been a really strong strategy lately because of sets like Attack on Titan running rampant as a big portion of the meta. People have been shifting more towards wall decks to deny Attack on Titan's plus, because the fact that Aaron's level 1 game prevents other decks from that require reverses to get any value out of it. It really hurts them. But this combo will totally sidestep that. 1, being able to wall out, and 2, being able to not be interactive with your opponent. So I'm pretty sure this set's going to come in, and we'll probably see some really cool build and stuff. And then the fact that, if any of you remember, I did release a build in the Japanese version of the game that my friend Ben first kind of pioneered, and I kind of tinkered a little bit with my version of the deck. It is the Atago combo from set 1, which I think becomes really strong because this set comes out, and that's probably an option people could see playing forward if they decide to get back into Contact or into Contact in general. And the fact that Atago combo is super cheap, it's like $1 per card or even less. I think it might be a common or uncommon, so it might even be like the whole package itself might cost you $1, and then most of the stuff you need is going to be in the newest set coming out in November 9th. Hopefully moving forward there's no delays by Bushiroad USA, but you know how that is, the way they handle licensing and stuff. Sometimes, you know, there's always a delay. Just like this past weekend they announced the delay for Bang Dream. But yeah, moving forward, we got another new set coming in. This is something they announced in Anime Expo. I'm sure everyone already heard about it. This is going to be an English exclusive set. The major factor this is becoming English exclusive is that in Japan it's really hard to get the license for Cardcaptor Sakura, because there's already another card game that involves Cardcaptor Sakura. I believe it's Precious Memories, I want to say. So they already have the rights to it in Japan, and it's really hard to basically get the IP so Bushiroad can print cards. But in America here, no one is really using this IP, so it's a lot easier to get the license for it. So hopefully moving forward, this is actually going to be a true exclusive to English. If some of you remembered, they announced before like Attack on Titan was going to be English, quote unquote English exclusive, but it was actually more like they just released it 1 month early in America, or for the Western audiences in English. But hopefully Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card comes out as a completely English exclusive and has a lot of cool effects or unique effects. I'm really, really excited for this set. This is one of, when I was younger, this is an anime I grew up on. Well, not specifically Clear Cards, but the original Cardcaptor Sakura. So it'll be a lot of fun being able to play these cards, and I'm sure this type of set that has no representation in Japan because they do not have it will shake up the English meta a lot, depending what effects are being printed. And no one right now knows at all what could possibly come out of this set, because it's supposedly going to be English exclusive. So really excited for that. Can't wait to see for them to start spoiling stuff. I mean, even looking at the English website will be really exciting. Usually when people spoil cards in English, I've already seen them in Japanese months and months and months in advance and played with the card already. But this is going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait for Card Captain Sakura to come out. Hopefully there's no delays or backpedaling by Bushiroad and this comes out as an exclusive to English. It'll be great. Next here, Konosuba 2 was announced a little while ago. I'm not sure if they announced this at Anime Expo, but either way, we kind of knew it was going to be coming down the pipeline. So hopefully when this set comes out, it's going to shake up the meta for sure as far as competitive play goes. But there's a lot of really fun effects in this set, so I'm sure we're going to have a lot of cool people out there with really crazy decks. Like there is a Kazuma card, if you're not familiar with the Japanese version of the game, where you play rock paper scissors with your opponent until you lose, and if you win 4 or more times, your opponent takes 4 damage, and it's on a level 1 card, and you need like experience 2 for it. And it's really funny if you've seen the scene from season 2 of Konosuba where Kazuma plays rock paper scissors against Aqua, and it's a pretty fun flavor card. As well as the set has a lot of great support for all the cast except Kazuma, because Kazuma always gets screwed. If you're a male character in Weiss, you usually get screwed over unless your cast is predominantly male. Besides Konosuba 2 coming out, there's not much else to say. It's just going to be a really great set, and I hope everyone does end up enjoying it. And for sure, it's going to definitely mess around with the English meta for competitive play at least. Next, we have ReZero 2. This picture I have is a little old, I believe, but they did announce it's going to come out in December. A lot of people were looking forward to this set for the regional season that's coming up for Bushiroad Championship Series. For Worlds, ReZero is really strong. I want to kind of say solitary type of deck, so there's not really much else to say other than the fact that when this set comes out, I'm sure it's going to affect a lot of the meta, especially if English side of the game never transitions over to being able to deal with early plays. Because one of the things that ReZero has going for it is that it has a really great solitaire compression game going for it. So that involves a lot of early plays at level 2. So if your opponent can't deal with it, it's a type of deck that once you hit level 2 and you're able to do your little combo, if your opponent can't handle what's on the field for multiple turns, ReZero usually snowballs and takes the victory because of how it snowballs so rapidly over a few turns of building like crazy compression and stock. Finally, we have No Game No Life. This has not, well, the trial deck just recently released today, actually, the day I'm recording this video. So we're not sure how this is going to affect the meta. In Japanese, right now, they released these cards where you play games with your opponent, basically. Kind of like the remnants of how the anime was, where you end up playing Shiritori with Jibril and stuff like that. So you'll have like these little mini games while you're playing your game of Weiss to gain special effects depending on what happens in the game, the little mini game, whether you win or not. Like for example, they released one of the cards they spoiled was a card where you play rock paper scissors with your opponent, and then you declare that you're going to play paper, and depending on how you win or lose, the affects outcome a lot. It's borrowing from that scene in the anime where not, is this Shiro? I think Shiro. Yeah, Shiro. What is his name? It's not Shiro. It's I can't remember the main protagonist's name right now. Plays rock paper scissors against Stephanie Doll and all that stuff. And so depending on how those cards play out, I really think the set could be either, well, no matter what, the set's going to be a lot of fun. At least for me, I really like No Game No Life, so it's going to be a fun set to invest in. But also the fact that you're getting these like really like wacky mini games you play on the side for special effects is going to be a lot of fun going forward. I hope for them to spoil a lot of great cards soon. But as far as how No Game No Life is going to affect the meta, I don't know if it's going to really make a really big impact in the Japanese side of the game. But on the English side of the game, I could see it doing a lot of work just because of the limited card pool and how the meta is progressing right now in English. One of the cards I really, really like that they spoiled from the trial deck actually is the Shiro level 1 combo, since you can't really interact with your opponent with that. I believe it combos with blue gate for getting climaxes back, as well as the card itself on play gains power based on the number of other characters on the field, including itself. Just kind of like the Yuki combo. It's like a lot less selectivity, but it's a pretty solid combo depending on what else gets released in the set. So I guess going forward we'll see what happens there. Besides that, I don't think there's any other news for recently announced sets. Supposedly there was supposed to be a set released in September, like a secret set, but a lot of people have been speculating that European Fleet was actually supposed to be the September set, but due to some problems they ended up pushing it back, and now there's going to be no set in September. But we'll see. They've been coming out with more information these last few days, so hopefully maybe in a week we'll hear something about September release, the super secret September release, and then we'll all get a cool surprise and stuff like that. Oh, one I forgot to include in here, I don't have a picture for it, is Apocrypha. Fate Apocrypha is coming out. It's already been out in Japanese. Hopefully I'll find a picture for it and put it in when I edit this video. But as far as Japan goes, the Japanese side of the game, it made a small impact, but not really anything. It's just like your run-of-the-mill, like tier 2 like deck that it does what it wants to do, but right now I don't think it's putting out the results top tier deck does. It has a lot of cool effects. You get another effect in there with the Astolfo level 1 combo, similar to the Aaron, where you reverse your battle opponent, you reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a character, add it to hand, and then whenever the Astolfo gets front attacked, you can bounce it back to your hand, which is a new effect. They started putting it all around it. If you play Japanese, it was in this Icano set, which I thought was a really strong card. Some other notable cards in there. They have a 2/4 anti-damage counter in the set too, which is always something that's really strong to have in your set, period. Even though it's a little bit overcosted because it gives power as well on a level 2 card. The top end of the deck is alright. I still haven't been able to, even though I own the cards, I haven't been able to play test the set as much as I'd like to. But the top end seems pretty good. There's some uninteractive top end stuff, shenanigans you can take advantage of. I'm not sure how effective this set's going to be in English, really, just because I haven't play tested the set enough and play tested multiple decks with the set. But it should be a pretty solid set all around, and depending on how things turn out, depending on its release date, it could make a really, really big impact into the meta for a while. But I have a feeling that this set might taper off and just not produce the results it was hoping for. But besides that, I hope to see you guys in the next video. I'm not sure when I'm going to do another video like this. It completely depends on how Bushiroad releases their information and news. Maybe moving forward we'll have like a monthly or like bi-weekly news roundup, because these videos will probably be really short and really quick depending on the news. And if it's not con season, then there's a lot less information coming out from Bushiroad. But besides that, guys, hope to see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.